Hello, everyone. Congratulations on surviving Halloween. Congratulations on surviving. Let's get feral. I did all that and then I forgot to pull up my cheat sheet. And I don't even have any dice out. We're doing great. Okay. Hi, welcome to Monsterhearts session 7. Reminder to the players going into the session, make each main character's life not boring. Keep the story feral. Say what the rules demand. And say what honesty demands. You all wake up in your various homes, in your various bedrooms, familiar lights all around, familiar smells, familiar everything. Josie, you hear from downstairs the news as you wake up. Your dad, ever so paranoid these last few days, has it turned up way too loudly in hopes that maybe you'll hear the warnings of the news. And you hear the blaring reporter's voice. Local teen Veronica Marks has been missing since late Monday night. She was last seen wearing a black leather jacket, a black beanie, and blue skinny jeans. Information on her whereabouts should be reported directly to the Canes Police Department. And now, on to Jesse with the weather. And like the trill of the news wears down. Now that the weather's on, you can hear it kind of go down a little bit in volume. And you wake up for the day in your bedroom after the events of what was Tuesday. If we're keeping track of the dates for everybody, yesterday was Tuesday, August 29th. Today is Wednesday, the morning of August 30th. We're doing great. Session 7. We've made it 3 days. No, like 2 days, really. So yeah, Josie, you wake up. You are in the bedroom that is now currently your bedroom in this new place in Angelwood, Canes, Oregon. What do you do?
I get up, I think about how it's only been like 2 days and still I'm just trying to get used to being in this world, in this town, in this school, and already have lost a friend, and people are being really weird, and I feel weirder than I've ever felt. I don't feel at home in my body, and we're in this house yet, and so I get up, I do some journaling, and some crying, and then go downstairs, grab a breakfast, and then go for a walk by myself to just like have some agency and some control, and take a very like slow walk towards school.
Amazing. As you are walking, you get the distinct feeling that you're being watched. You have that feeling of eyes on you, and you turn around and you don't quite see anything. But you can't shake this feeling that someone's following you. You hear every so often the scuff of a shoe, and you turn around. You don't see anyone. And almost halfway to, are you taking the train or are you going to walk all the way to school?
I think I'm gonna walk just to like do that thing where you like live in a new city and like you have one way of getting there and you want to like explore the other route, and I'm just gonna like walk, and like I know it's kind of too far, but I want to do it.
Okay. Yeah. I would say on the train it would probably take you about like 15-ish minutes, but walking probably like 30, 35. So not too bad. And especially it's an August day, the sun is shining, the tank is clean, and we are getting out of here, you know? So, yeah, I would say as you're walking about halfway, you hear like a scuff and like a deep exhale almost directly behind you.
I turn and like, huh.
You are face to face with someone very familiar to you, looking frightened that you have even spotted them. But you're not very shocked to see the lovely face of your brother Duffy, looking wide-eyed. I'm sorry. I just wanted to. I'm okay. Hi. Good morning.
What are you doing? Why are you following me?
I'm not following. I'm walking to school. And it just happens to be in the same way that you are walking to school. And we just happened to leave at the same time, and I didn't even I'm not following you. Okay?
It seems like you're following me,
No.
and like I just wanted some alone time this morning.
Well, are you okay?
Yeah, Stuffy, I'm fine.
Okay. Okay, well now I have to walk this way because
Yeah, come on.
Okay. But I will be quiet. I won't say anything. And you can still be alone and I won't say anything. I can walk even far, like you can walk behind me if you want.
Just get over here. You're like a ghost. You're like always following me.
You're like a ghost. You're cold like a ghost. You're freezing. Oh, get off me. And he like wiggles away from you.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll walk like a little bit in front of you.
Yeah. Now we're like walking very awkwardly, like, quietly. Yeah. I think.
Yeah. You feel too. You know that thing of like when you're with someone and you can feel their energy towards you, even if they're not like looking at you or saying anything to you, like you just feel that their energy or their attention is like ready at any moment. That's kind of he's trying to be so cool. He wants to respect you so much, but like you can tell Josie that like he is freaked the fuck out still. Like his eyes are on you. He is focused on you. He's ready to like help you with anything that you need.
Yeah, I am annoyed by his availability though at this point in time because I just wanted to be by myself and like don't feel good and kind of don't want to put that on anybody else. And now Duffy's here again, and I just don't have space to feel shitty.
You could, if you wanted to, I would give you, because just of how powerfully Josie is feeling, if you want to, I would give you this opportunity to kind of like lose him and roll to run away. And it doesn't have to be like a legit, like you're faced with danger and you're gonna book it. It can be like a kind of dip dodge situation where we can see if you can get out of his range.
Here's the problem though. I don't want to leave him by himself.
That's fair. I mean, it is broad daylight.
I'm still an older sibling.
That's wow. The position that you are in right now.
Yeah.
I would have left my brother. That's Angie saying that.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, Evan. If you're watching this, you're not.
Yeah, if this wasn't the first time ever walking this way, I'd leave him behind, but I would feel shitty. And that would make me feel worse. I'm annoyed that now I have this burden. What is shutting somebody down? Can
I? Yeah. So you'd roll with cold, and you can Yeah, like if I would say that if you don't want to run away, but you want to not be available to him, you could roll to shut him down.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do because I think Duffy would not try to stay quiet this whole time.
No.
I would like awkwardly.
How dare you know how I'm gonna play this character?
Yeah.
10 minutes later.
All right. Move cold. Life. That's only 6, so that's a failure.
Yeah, so I would say maybe you get about like 3 or 4 minutes into the walk. He's a little bit ahead of you. And you hear him giggling.
Mm.
And you see that he's pulled his little, like, very old hand-me-down, like, iPhone 6 out that your mom gave him just to have to be safe. And especially now that he's, like, in a place where, you commute and you're walking around. And he's, like, laughing, and he kind of looks back at you. Go ahead and mark your experience if you haven't.
Yeah.
But he like laughs and he kind of looks back at you to see if you're looking at him laugh. And if you are, tell me. If not, if you're like not acknowledging him, also tell me.
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you doing? If he's
I think I'm kind of just like choosing now to dissociate all of the things that you say.
Okay.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah. He'll see you and acknowledge you and then keep walking. And then he'll do it again. Maybe like a minute or two later. Check back to see if you're paying attention. And on the third time he does it, he'll look back at you and be like, oh my gosh, look at this meme. Look at this meme that Liam sent me. And Liam is his friend from his old school.
Mm.
And he holds up his phone to show you the meme.
Wow, yeah, that's great, bud. I'm glad you still are talking to your friends from back home. I wish that any of mine would text me.
None of them have texted you?
No.
Well, I mean, you have all the friends here now. Like, you have Onyx and Steve and what's that weird kid's name with the hair, with the long hair? Vernon, right? Is it Vernon?
Yeah, I think they're all weird. Like he's definitely weird. He's the one with the microphone.
Oh, yeah, he wanted me to be on his podcast.
He did say that, didn't he?
Yeah, I would be on a podcast. I have a very talented voice, my choir teacher says. I could be on the radio.
Yeah, that's good, bud. You could be on the radio. That is you've got the face for it.
Wait a minute. You can't have and he like punches you on the shoulder. And you realize as soon as he kind of punches you on the shoulder that his school is coming up. And this would be a really great time for you to get those 5 minutes of peace that his absence would be giving you. So he kind of punches you on the shoulder and he says, okay, well, if you need anything, text me. But also you text your friends. You can text them too if you want, or you can text
I know
the friends that you have here.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah. There's a lot of two-way streets here. Way more than in Portland.
It's true. A lot less bridges though. I love you.
Okay, bye.
Have a good day at
love
school.
You.
Bye.
And he gives you a big hug and he runs off into the distance.
Mm-hmm.
And he only looks back 2 times and almost trips on the curb before he's out of your sight. And you have this moment of peace.
And it's ruined, but I walk to school. And that's, I think that's my morning.
While that's happening, let us go back in time to Onyx. You spent a lovely evening with Cody and Juno, who you ended up finding after Alaska ditched you for her National Honor Society meeting. And Cody just loved hearing about all the drama and all of the shenanigans that was going on and how angry you were at Alaska for not telling you about Scotty and how, like, all the things that are going on in your life. So you wake up this morning having had a lovely little, like, sibling fun time. And the mausoleum, you notice when you wake up, is the door is a little bit cracked open and you don't see anyone in where Alaska is usually sleeping.
And both of the younger ones are there?
Yeah. Cody and Juno are both, like, curled up. But Alaska either never came home or snuck out before you could wake up.
Yeah, I think that I would kind of wake up pissed then. Like, not that Alaska is gone necessarily, but that she's, like, not telling me something. I, like, feel like we're pretty good pals, and the fact that she, like, ran off, the fact that kind of she's dating someone and hadn't told me, like, my feelings are hurt. Like, what the hell? Why are you keeping secrets from me? So I think that I would consider skipping school because I want to go, like, talk to my parents at some point. I want to, like, find them and, like, see if they will give me any information about what's happening. But because I really want to see Alaska, I'm like, well, the only place I know Alaska will be is, like, at school. Mm-hmm. So I would, like, rouse the little ones and get them ready to go and then head off to school.
Cool. As you rouse the children and you make your way out of the mausoleum, the first thing you see, and I made this little thingy. Let's see. It's at night because of the scaries, but I made a little backdrop. So imagine this during the day, but we'll get a backdrop. My home. You open the door to the mausoleum. Cody and Juno, like, giggling, laughing, running out. And you are stopped immediately in your tracks by the vision of a woman standing near, like, leaning up against, very coolly, against a police car. And she has spotted you coming out of this mausoleum.
Is it a cop?
Yeah, you would assume that because she's leaning against this cop car that she is a cop. She's not dressed in a uniform. This is who you see. You see, she's, like, leaned up against a cop car. She has, like, a brown leather jacket on, like, curly dark black hair that kind of falls to her shoulders, and a little badge that's, like, pinned on her hip. And as soon as she sees you, she kind of waves, gives you a little wave, a little smirk, and, like, pushes herself forward to start walking towards you at the mausoleum.
Okay, I think I would, like, for Cody and Juno, I'd be like, go to school. Don't, just, it's a normal day. Go to school. Like, get out of here. And, like, send them on their way.
Juno, like, Cody immediately is just like, like, runs away, but Juno kind of catches you and sees that there's someone approaching you and looks at you.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Okay.
Go to school.
and she'll follow Cody anxiously. And you turn and you see that the detective has come almost to the like stairs now of the mausoleum.
Yeah. I would just kind of like turn around and face her and be like, hello.
Are you Onyx?
Whoa. Okay. What?
Sorry, I realize this is a little sudden. I'm Detective Morales. I don't believe we've had the honor. She like holds out her hand to you.
I like shake her hand and grip it as hard as I can.
I'm just following up on the Ronnie Marks case. You were listed as one of the key witnesses on the night she went missing.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd find you here, but it seems as though you've... Are you okay? Do you need
Yes.
assistance? Do you need a place to stay? Are you...
No, oh no, I live really close, by, and, I thought that my older sister, was going to be here, because she must have left early this morning, and so I just came by with the kids before going to school. We, this is like our backyard. We live pretty close. So we were just hanging out before. Obviously, I sent them to school, but it's chill. It's fine.
Chill, yeah. Chill. Okay, well, just know that the Cairns Police Department is here for any assistance that you might need. I have a few questions while I have you here, if you don't mind me asking.
I take
I could...
school very seriously, but I guess maybe you can ask a couple questions.
Yeah, do you want to come down to the station with me? I can get you a cup of coffee, be somewhere a little more comfortable.
Do I have the rights to a lawyer?
Oh, you're not being arrested at all. It's just in accordance with this case. I just no. And again, you don't have to answer, but I figure maybe you would want to find your friend, so.
Yeah, I mean, she's like barely my friend, but I mean, not that I had anything against her. I didn't do anything. I just had just met her that day. So.
Oh. So you're not friends.
I mean, not friends as in enemies, but not friends as in we had just met.
Okay. And she like takes out a notebook from her jacket and starts writing some stuff down. So then answer me this if you can. Do you know if there was anybody in Miss Marks's life who might want to do her harm, or any enemies she might have had that would be good to look into?
I mean, I don't know. We're like freshmen. That feels kind of intense to have enemies that want to do you harm. I don't know.
She kind of chuckles. That's fair. Yeah.
I had just met Ronnie that same day. Like I said, she does have like other friends that like I think she knows from middle school.
Would that be Steve, Taylor, and Becca Song?
Yeah.
I see them on the report here. And I will be reaching out to them as well. But
yeah, I mean, if she has like a nemesis or something, I feel like they would be the ones to know. I don't know. She seemed fine to me.
Fine to you. Okay. Now, not to speak as if I know you, but it seems as there are multiple people probably in your life who are just fine to you. Or do you have a lot of friends, Miss Smith?
Is this relevant to finding Ronnie?
No, I guess not. I just, again, wanted to make sure that you're okay. And listen,
Well,
I'm gonna be frank with you. Crime is committed mere days ago. Missing girl. And the little evidence that we've found at the disappearance site, coupled with the fact that as I'm sitting here at the site, just getting my bearings, you come out of the mausoleum, which is a private, private temple, private area. It's a little fishy. And I just want to make sure that you know that you're not getting caught up in something that might be detrimental to you, to your future.
I think Onyx kind of just shifts tactics a little bit. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, I mean, I don't want to get wrapped up in anything that's detrimental to my future either. Like I said, I care a lot about school, which I would like to get to soon, and I'm trying to make the wrestling team, and my older sister goes to the same school, and I think people generally like her. And I don't know if you know, but like I also was hurt that night, so I don't even remember a lot of what happened. So I don't know if you're like trying to fucking blame me for something. Like,
no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to give the impression that you're being blamed. I'm sorry that you were hurt. Was it during the incident?
Yeah, I was knocked unconscious, and you can see I'm like still kind of beat up. So I don't know what happened.
And you didn't see anything?
No.
During the original report says that there was footsteps and a chase, and then I believe Steve Taylor, we have on the record, as saying when he turned around, his friend was gone.
Yeah, nobody saw anything. So, I mean, I don't really know what happened. Everyone's kind of confused.
And on the night in question, do you recall anyone wearing any sort of like a red shirt or a red sweater, any sort of red fabrics involved in the night?
Would I remember this?
So you weren't there.
Oh yeah, I mean, but I saw everyone afterward.
Well, let's see.
I guess I wouldn't know specifically what Ronnie was wearing because I didn't see her at all.
So we have your boy Steve
Oh, good. Give me everyone's outfits.
We have your boy Vernon.
Oh no.
We have your girl Ronnie.
Black, of course.
And we
What could it
have
be? I don't know.
your girl Josie.
All right.
And then we have, who else was there? Josh was there.
Dustin.
And Dustin.
Got it.
Good for you, Adam, too.
What about Duffy?
Duffy. Duffy.
Okay, so she asked me that. I'd be like, was there red clothing found somewhere?
I can't discuss the specifics of the case, just for the safety of the family and the ongoing investigation. But once we feel that we have enough to go on, we will release the information to the public. I'm simply just asking questions, trying to put pieces together. But any recollection of any materials matching that description?
I'm trying to remember. I mean, it was dark. We were all pretty traumatized, and like I just woke up from being literally knocked out, so I wasn't paying attention to people's clothes.
Okay, I'll make note of that. Thank you very much. Just one more question. Do you know anyone by the name Wes Jacobs or Tessa Garber?
No, are they students?
They would have been. Yeah.
Would have been?
Well, thank you so much, Miss Smith. That's all I need. And again, like I said, if you, and she starts like kind of folding up her notebook and walking back to her car. If you ever need any assistance, just come by the department, come by the station, ask for me, and she like hands you a card, and it says Detective Xiomara Morales, with her phone number on the bottom. Just give me a call anytime if anything comes up, especially with this case. We really do want to find Ronnie and return her. Her dad is worried sick, so.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Well, thanks.
And she opens her car door, gets in, and you see her glance at you. And she kind of gives you a little closed mouth smile and drives off.
Okay. I start going to school. I do a couple things.
Number one.
I'm going to text Alaska and be like, you got to get the fuck out of this mausoleum and find somewhere else to stay right now. 2, I think that I would text Josie and be like, hey, we got to talk before school. Yeah, I think those are the 2 things I would do, and then head to school and try to find Josie right away.
Amazing. So you text Alaska and you text Josie.
And I march to school under my breath. I'm like, a cab.
Cool. Okay. So Steve, moving back in time as we have been, you wake up in your bed and you see all of your things and all of your stuff. You see a backpack on the ground. You see a book on the desk. That is a leather-bound, dark leather book. And something about it feels familiar. And then you hear a banging on the door of your room. Steve, are you awake? It's only the third day.
Yeah, coming. I'm coming. I'm getting up. Sorry. Give me one sec.
Okay. Well, just make sure I've got some breakfast on the table. You need to eat. You're looking a little skinny.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely. Don't worry about it. I'll be there in 1 second.
Okay.
Just need to grab all my stuff. Thank you.
Oh. You're welcome. And you hear like a little giggle, and you hear the footsteps kind of descend down the hall and back into the kitchen. And you can hear a little muted down in the living room, that same local teen, Veronica Marks, has been missing since late Monday night. She was last seen wearing, and you hear that kind of play out as the day begins for you. What do you do?
I'd like to turn to that book and maybe like flip through it a little bit. And shrug and just throw it in my backpack.
Amazing.
And then, yeah, come on, like, definitely change clothes, and then come on downstairs.
You see, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, yeah.
I was gonna say, if you make your way downstairs, you see, this woman sitting at the kitchen table eating her own breakfast, sipping on some coffee, and she looks at you as she comes up and she's like, oh, okay, sit down. We've got, about 10 minutes before you gotta be off. And I'm glad you're not going for the breakfast burrito this morning. I think we need to do some more home cooked things. I'm feeling so awful, Stevie, that I just can't be the mother that I want to be for you. And I'm working so much, and I'm just.
Hey, it's okay. I'm in high school, so I should be taking care of myself. Things that I can do. I'm very good at finding things. I'm realizing what I can take care of for myself. So thank you for making food when you make it, and whatever you can do. I know you're very busy.
Oh, and she kind of like tears up a little bit and kind of like turns away from you and is like dabbing her eyes. Clearly she doesn't want you to see her get emotional. And she like takes a deep breath. I'm just so proud of you, Stevie.
I just want to be the best me.
You are. And she like gets up and just runs over and like embraces you really hard. And then kind of pulls away, and she's like, yeah, you are getting too skinny. Eat double portions. And she like throws some more eggs and a little bit of like bacon on your plate. Eat that. And she's like, sit down, sip her coffee.
Okay. I kind of move the food around on my plate a little bit. And say, I think it's because Ronnie's been missing. That's probably why it's been hard for me to eat.
Oh, Stevie.
But I've made some friends, and I think having friends is really important and is really stabilizing. And and I still believe that something good is going to come out of all this, and I think Ronnie's okay.
I think so too. I think they're gonna find her, and I think, and now it's all over the news and her pictures out there, and somebody has to see her, right? Somebody's
Mhm.
gotta see where she went or who took her even. Oh, I can't even think of it. I can't even think of the thought of, she's just, I don't want to say she was sweet because that doesn't seem like the right word, but she was just good, and I know that this is really hard for you, so I'm gonna take tonight off. I called in already. I'm gonna clean up the house. I'm gonna make us some dinner tonight. So if you could just be home for dinner.
Okay.
Um.
Can I ask you something?
Oh, anything.
I was just it's a little weird question, but and I take the book out of my bag and I put it on the table and I say, "Do you remember where I found this, or where we first got this?"
Oh. Um. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen that before. And
Oh,
she kind of
okay.
like goes to pick it up and
Mm-hmm.
opens it and sees. Is it a journal? There's nothing written on here.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach, we're gonna make something up, and Zach, I don't think we ever talked about this, but I think, and correct me if y'all remember, he had to like activate it, right? Like, didn't somebody try to look at it and there was nothing on it until he like, yeah. Okay,
I believe
cool.
that's how it worked. Yeah.
Cool. That's what I thought, and then I was like, I've watched a lot of content recently, and I'm like,
Mhm.
am I getting that from something else? So yeah, she like picks it up and she's like, oh, it seems kind of. Are you taking up journaling? Did you get this at the craft?
No, it's just something about it is so, specific, and just kind of it's been interesting.
Well,
But yeah, maybe I did pick it up at maybe I found it somewhere.
Well, your dad was really, he loved to work with leather, and he loved the feel of like leather bound books, his old collection in the garage. So maybe you get that from him. It's
Oh,
just,
yeah. How can I forget? Yeah,
don't you've been stressed, honey
that's
bunny.
right.
It's okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, it's good. You're journaling. You're getting your feelings out. It seems like you're in a good place. So let's have dinner tonight then. Let's have dinner
Okay.
tonight, and whatever comes up comes up. I know we haven't spent a lot of time together, but I just don't want you running away. I don't want to scare like we had yesterday.
Could I invite a friend over for dinner?
Oh, yeah. Who are you thinking?
I don't know. We'll see if they even want to go.
Okay, well, you text me if they have any allergies or anything. I'm cooking tonight, so I'm gonna go to the grocery store and everything. So yeah, you just let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, well, finish eating and go on to school. I'll give you some space. And she like downs her coffee and puts it in the sink and kisses you on the top of the head and makes her way.
I'm gonna when she leaves the room, I'm gonna take the glass of orange juice and pour it down the drain and scrape my plate off into the trash, and load it into the dishwasher.
Very
And
responsible.
and take all my stuff. None of the food was eaten, just scraped away. And head to school.
All right.
Mhm.
All right. So you make your way to school. And other than that, really nothing out of the ordinary for you, Steve Taylor. Vernon.
Yes. That's me.
You oh yes. You wake up in the guest house. And remembering, you know, the interview that you had with Steve yesterday, the start of this podcast, Cora and her excitement at the aspect of you dating, and like the little heart pitter that you get from remembering that she has now basically like given herself to you. You wake up feeling all the good things that come with feeling successful and productive in your little guest house. What's Vernon up to this morning?
Well, Vernon didn't sleep last night because he spent all night editing the podcast.
Okay.
Because this episode's getting released today, baby.
Who else did you get any other interviews, or is it just that one with
no Steve? Other interviews, but I like spliced together like, you know, stock footage of like nature sounds and then like rustling leaves and like wolves howling, and I'm doing a bunch of, you know, voiceover kind of explaining the incident and some of the past of the city and
okay.
You know, the mission statement of this podcast is the first episode, so
hell yeah.
Putting it all on the ground.
Hell yeah. Okay, so if you were up all night editing the podcast, you roll over and you see that above the covers is and fully clothed and like in the same clothes that she was in the day before is Cora, sleeping next to you, and is like dead asleep, whereas you kind of, you know, arise. She is like out, does not hear you rustle, does not hear you get up, very much unconscious.
All right. Once I get the podcast, you know, edited and ready, I'm just going to sit down next to her and just kind of stare at her, waiting for her to awaken. But I'm not gonna like actually say anything or put or like shove her or tap her or anything. I'm just gonna wait.
Okay. It takes her a bit. Like it might be a bit of your morning to stand or like sit there and listen to her tiny little snores and like breathing, and then she kind of like rolls one way, rolls another, and then as soon as she kind of feel, you know, the sun starts to come in, she feels like a little bit of the light on her face, and she kind of opens one eye and sees you and kind of startles. Are you watching me sleep?
You only had one REM cycle last night.
That's so romantic.
Well, I was just watching out for you.
Wow, last night was crazy, huh?
Yes. Do you think we should release the episode at noon while everyone's at lunch, or should we do it right first thing in the morning so it'll be the talk of the home period?
I mean, I would say let's do it sooner rather than later. Because if we post it, then the people who can't watch it or listen to it at homeroom will listen to it at lunch.
All right, when I post this, I need you to send the link to every person that you know.
Okay.
All right, who's your most popular contact? Who do you think will spread it the fastest?
I mean, let me pull up the homeroom. I mean, Haley and Christina probably will.
Yes.
They were talking a lot of smack yesterday about Ronnie being missing. Like they said that she was faking it, like that maybe she just ran away.
Yes.
So I bet if I texted it to them and be like, hey, we know the truth. Ooh, I bet they would want to be on the pod. Oh, gosh, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay.
Yeah.
I would text them first.
Episode 9 guests.
Oh my gosh. Episode 9. Can you believe this is Vernon, we are really doing something here.
We are. And I just need you to know So we're in a little bit of a weird situation because this podcast is going to go on as long as this mystery is unsolved. So
God,
I'm not saying we should stall, but I wanna get to double digits before this thing is really figured out. So
wow. I can't believe that I'm a certified journalist.
you are.
This is gonna look so good on college applications.
Do you plan to go to college?
Well, yeah, don't you?
Probably not.
Wow, really?
I'm thinking about just traveling for my life.
Okay, I have to go brush my teeth, and get ready for school. And she kind of like gets up and like smooths out her hair and like, do you want to walk together?
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'll be right back. And she like scampers off, very anxiously, almost like covering her mouth as she walks off.
All right, I published the podcast.
Okay.
And I will text it to Steve, the link to Steve.
Okay, on your walk to school then, Steve, you would feel a ping of your phone. Do you send it to Cora as well to send to...
Yep, I sent it to Cora.
So Cora would send it to Christina and Haley. And I would say Haley would send it to Eddie because Eddie is the one who knows all of the like ins and outs of the school already and was the one that basically has been now telling everybody that there are cameras in the classrooms. Eddie has sent it obviously to his brother Edward. Eddie is also friends with Dustin, so Dustin has it now. Dustin would have sent it to Steve, so you get another ping on your phone, Steve.
Nice.
And Dustin also would have included a group thread including Onyx, Josie, Becca, Josh, and not Scotty, because Scotty wasn't there. No, Scotty, because there's already a group thread. Wow, I really need to keep up on my group threads. Just going just as well as my real life. So basically everybody who was there that night, plus Scotty, got a text with the link to the podcast. So you all now have that. One day there will be subscriber only content for Charmed Persons. That is Matt and myself recording the podcast version of whatever this podcast ends up being. It'll be very meta.
That would be so fun.
So y'all make it to homeroom. It's Wednesday, August 30th. You walk in to Miss Townsend, which if you haven't interacted with her in a while, so I'll pull her up here for you to see. Miss Townsend, your homeroom teacher, who on the first day made a huge, beautiful stink about the art festival coming up, gave you all flyers. You know her to be a pretty prominent member of the Angelwood Arts Council. Every year she is the one who is setting up the arts fair that takes place in the big public square. And she usually is very animated, as you remember from your first day, nearly 7 sessions ago, aka 2 days ago. But today she is sitting at her desk. She has her nose buried in her phone and barely recognizes or acknowledges anyone who comes in. So as you make your way into the homeroom and go to your seats, that's what you see there.
I would walk up to her.
Yeah.
Hello, Miss Townsend. You don't seem like yourself. Is there anything wrong with you?
Oh, Mr. Jasper, thank you so much for checking in on me. It's so kind of you. No, I'm not doing well. I'm not doing well at all. The grief of the missing students haunts me every day, and I have been working on a piece of art for the art fair to just put my grief somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
We mustn't keep our grief inside. We must put it somewhere. We must put it towards our art.
I could not agree more. And what piece are you making, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, it's just coming from the depths inside of me. It's just inspired by the heinous atrocities that seem to be plaguing our fair city and our fair neighborhood. The piece I'm working on currently is called Milk Carton Kids. These kids are missing and we must do something about it.
Well,
Would you like to see?
Yeah, I would like to see anything you want to show me.
Oh no, I don't know if I loaded it to the roll 20. Hold, please. Did I? No, it's not finished. I can't show you until you can come see it at the art fair on Friday. I think I'm going to have it up in tent number 2. So.
Well,
but
I'll be there, Miss Townsend.
Oh, beautiful. You know, we need to get more youths involved in art. It is the most underfunded resource we have as a civilization. Everybody wants sports. Everybody wants STEM. I'm tired of STEM. STEM isn't where I want to be. I know I teach chemistry, but I hate STEM. I've said it and I mean it.
I'm sorry you feel that way. I would also like, while we're on the subject of art, I have made a podcast and I have poured my grief into this as well. It came out of me in the form of edited conversations about a tragedy. And I have taken it upon myself to try to figure out what has happened. And I promise you that I will get to the bottom of what happened and you will have your students back, and your grief painting or art will become a triumphant painting.
Wow. And she stands dramatically from her desk, and the 4 students that are in homeroom right now, she gestures to them and she says, "You see, boys and girls, this is what art can do. Art can heal." And she sits down and goes back to her phone. She's like, "I need to tell Mr. Jasper, do you have the link to your podcast? I'd love to send it to the art council."
Of course, if I just don't have your number, so if you could, I will text it to you.
You see her kind of hesitate a minute, and she's clearly weighing the safety of giving you her number against the world-shattering revelation that is art.
I won't abuse the right to have your number. I will never text you unless it's appropriate, of course. I just think that this would be the easiest way to do this.
You're right, and I'll hold you to that. And she'll hold out her hand for your phone.
I give it to her.
And she'll put her number in. And she'll say, "Delete it immediately after you send the text." And I'll delete yours immediately after I follow the link.
What's the podcast called?
Yeah, what is the podcast called?
It's called Out of the Shadows.
Good. Very good.
Out of the Shadows. Ooh, evocative. I love it.
I text her the link, and I'm definitely not deleting her number.
She gets it. She shows you. She makes a big show. She taps it. She follows it. She deletes your text, and she says, "We will never speak of this."
Of course. Thank you. I will go take my seat in your class. I hope the rest of your day goes well.
And she just kind of puts her hand to her heart and gives you a nod. and sits down solemnly again. And you do see her take out a pair of AirPods and put them into her ears, and she just kind of like leans back in the chair and listens. And every so often for the rest of the homeroom, for like the 10-15 minutes you're here, you just see her go and she'll like snap a couple times. But yeah, she is far into it. So yeah, you take a seat.
I have
You want to go see
some business.
Josie. Yeah, you want to. Yeah, so Josie, I would imagine you make your way into the homeroom.
Homeroom. Okay, I would have gotten this text with a podcast. I'm gonna walk in the room. I'm gonna look at Vernon and go, "Fuck you," and then I'm gonna walk over to Eddie and be like, "Hey, are you able to look up like old school records and stuff?"
Like old school records, like beats
record,
and jams, or like school records.
Eddie, stop playing with me right now. I mean, like,
it's a question.
I mean, like records from this school from the past.
Duh.
Okay. Can you find out information about like possible students here by the names of Tess Garber and what was the other one? Wes something?
Tessa Garber and Wes Jacobs.
Tessa Garber and Wes Jacobs. I have literally no idea who these people are, but someone was questioning me about them, and I don't know if they like go here, if they used to go here. Like, can you find out some information for me?
I mean, yeah, easy. Give me like a class period. The thing is I don't know how much more of this investigation stuff that I can do, because I gave Ronnie some information and she went missing, and now if I give you information, you're probably gonna go missing. So
Whoa.
I just don't know. No, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not.
Eddie, no.
No, it's not me. It's not me. It's probably like Russia or something. It's probably like
no, it's not your
probably
fault.
What happened is that they got my IP somehow and they found me, and then they found the search, and then like, so I'm just kind of freaking out, you know? I'm just kind of freaking out.
Russia is not concerned with this school in Canes. Like, it's fine. Canes?
I don't know.
Where do we live?
Canes.
Canes. I think it's fine. Like, you telling people that there's cameras in the school is like not the thing that is going to get Ronnie kidnapped. Like, if that was true, they would have kidnapped you. You've been telling literally everyone about the cameras. Everyone knows you're the one who did it. And you're not kidnapped, so it has nothing to do with it. Like, it's fine. You're not responsible.
Okay, you have no idea how much I needed to hear that. I haven't slept in 2 days.
Eddie, you got to get some sleep, and you got to find out about Tessa and Wes for me, okay?
Okay, I'll text you. Do I have your number? Put your number in my phone.
I have my number.
Okay. I'll text you when I find out anything, but I did not.
I know.
I didn't do anything.
I know. I will stand by.
Puts his hood up, and like a tuft of red hair is just popping out of the hoodie, and he's just like,
I'd be like,
clearly tweaking.
And then I would stomp over to Josie and like lean over her desk and be like, "Hey Josie, good morning. How are you? What's up? How are you doing?"
Hey, I'm okay. It's kind of a long walk to school, but
walked?
Yeah, I mean, just to like try it out. Needed some fresh air and to clear my head after all that's going on.
Yeah, about that. I got stopped by a detective this morning on my way to school.
Whoa, the cops are talking to you?
Yes. I mean, I guess there's like an official detective on the case. I don't really know. She accosted me. I tried not to answer all her questions because, like, I don't want, I don't know. Like, I don't know what happened and I don't know, like, who's responsible. I don't want anyone else to get hurt. But they were asking me if anyone was wearing red that night.
Oh my god,
And I didn't tell her anything. I didn't tell her anything. But, like, I don't know why. I don't know if they found, like, did your jacket rip or anything? Like, do you know?
I don't think so. And I like start looking for tears in my hoodie.
I don't know if there's like fragments of red thread to be found at a crime scene. I don't know what these people have, but I just wanted to tell you. And, like, I don't know. I wanted you to hear it from me.
I mean, thanks for the heads up. I gotta get rid of this, I guess.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I don't want you to look fucking suspicious because you suddenly, like, threw your red hoodie in the trash. Like,
that's
people have
smart. Yeah.
obviously
No.
seen you wear this hoodie, and it's fine. You're allowed to. You didn't do anything.
No, that's right. I mean, yeah, we didn't do anything. Oh fuck. I can't.
You, as soon as you see, as soon as she hears, as soon as she hears you say that you didn't do anything, Becca, who has been sitting back here in her little chair, notably looking at Ronnie's empty desk, kind of scoots up forward to where Scotty is sitting. Scotty's not here right now, but we'll keep Scotty there. And is like, "Hey, are you guys talking about Monday night?"
Yeah, of course.
Okay, not to be weird or anything, and not to Josie, I swear I'm not trying to get you in trouble, but, like, you dipped too and you weren't there, and then you suddenly reappeared again, so, like, are you sure you... I'm not saying you did anything, but, like...
I didn't do anything.
I know, but where did you go?
Yeah, wait.
Like, I think we all need to know where you went, because if we're gonna have to protect you...
Did you get lost in the woods?
That's why I said, yeah, no, I've already told you that I was running away and then I got turned around and then I got lost. It's my first time really being in those woods and I just...
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah. It's I, like, don't mean to, like, imply anything, like, but it's fine if, like, there's something confusing that happened that night. I don't think it necessarily, like, I don't believe it incriminates you. Something confusing happened to me that night, and I don't have all the answers, but I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna, like, turn you in or something just because something was unexplainable.
Yeah,
No,
I mean, there's a lot of unexplainable things that happened that night.
Yeah, no fucking kidding.
Yeah, speaking of unexplainable, you guys, Steve fucked around with something crazy. And I don't want to say that he might have started something, but isn't it weird that all of this happened directly after Steve, like, did some crazy magic shit?
Yeah, it's fucking weird. I tried to ask Alaska about it last night, and
What'd she say?
Like, she just, like, bolted. She literally left, I think, for the rest of the night. I have to find her today. But Becca, I think that the detective is gonna come and ask you and Steve for information because you knew Ronnie best, and they're gonna ask, like, if she had any enemies or whatever. But I think you need to talk to Steve because it seems like you've been friends for a long time, and, like, I don't know, something really weird happened yesterday, and I just don't get what he's up to now.
As you're saying this, Steve's gonna come in through the door.
Hell yeah.
And sit down in Ronnie's seat.
Oh,
Becca
and-
immediately
and
glares
pull
at you.
out the book and set it on the desk as well. Very nonchalantly, but like lays the book on the desk.
Steve, what the fuck are you doing? Put that away.
Look, I think something very important has to do with this right here, okay? And
Yeah.
I think we need to all figure this out.
we all?
I
No.
mean, if you don't want to help, you can go off in the woods and find someone that's not, wolves to go and, figure out. But this, okay, I want to talk to you about what this did, and I want to figure out what is going on in this.
Yeah,
And
we all want to fucking figure it out, Steve.
Great.
What do you think went on with it? What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what fucking went on with it, Steve. You fucking opened that book and you said some little words and then you put me in a fucking lot amount of pain and now you're fucking whipping that shit out here in the middle of the school day like nothing happened. Can you just put it away? It's freaking me out.
Hey, I'm sorry to freak you out. I'm sorry. I'll put it away, and I do so.
Yeah, she'll sit down.
Becca, I know that you experienced something that was really not cool, but I think you might have some insight into maybe on the receiving end of it, what could be going on. How it accessed you, how it interfered with you, what it overwhelmed you with,
Are you saying
that's good.
when it was you, Steve?
Yeah, Becca's like looking at Josie and Onyx, like.
Look, it's not just me. There's power in this thing, right? And this, if a person who knows how to use a tool uses the tool, it's both the person and the tool. But you can understand something about the tool after seeing what it does. You understand how a saw works after seeing it cut, right?
What are you pulled this thing out and were like, guys, look what I can do. And you did it. Like, you know how it works, Steve. What the fuck are you talking about?
I think I'm realizing how dangerous this thing is, and I'm looking for help, okay? And if you don't want to help, and I turn to Onyx, if you don't want to help, that's fine. You can go, like be friends with wild animals and be, make excuses and for creatures of the night, but right
Whoa.
here, and I'm gonna roll to shut down Onyx.
Yeah, you.
I can't.
Oh boy. Okay.
What is that? It's
what
cold.
name what you're afraid of as you do this.
Isn't that keep your cool?
Oh, shut someone down. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have my glasses on.
Oh, 11.
Ooh. Okay.
-1, I think.
I've been
-1, so still a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll allow you to pick one of the things that happen down below as a oh god, what's the word?
Choice.
A choice. Yeah, as you shut her down successfully and one of these things happens.
I want to give her a condition. I want to give her the condition clueless.
Whoa.
Nice.
Okay.
So mean.
Wow. That's like a fun one because that's the thing of like that mentality of if people start thinking something about you and enough people think it, then you start to think it's true, and that is like that could be a fun
Mad.
yeah. Okay. Amaze. So Yeah, you successfully shut her down. And Onyx, you feel kind of that piercing energy of his words kind of flow through you.
Yeah. I think I would I'm ready to give him my counterpoint, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't know. Turn around and go. Yeah, I think I go sit in my seat in homeroom away from everyone by Dustin.
Yeah. Dustin has kind of been sitting in his book this whole time, but you do see him kind of watch you as you separate from the group and come sit in your seat. And he folds his book up, puts it in his backpack, and kind of turns to you and says, "Hey, are you okay?"
I think more quietly than is normal for Onyx, she's like, no, I'm not fucking okay. I really thought Steve was gonna be my friend. Now I just no. It's fine. It's fine. Just need a minute.
He puts his hand kind of on your shoulder, and he says, Can I tell you something? And it's gonna sound kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it means, and I can't quite figure it out. But I don't think that's Steve.
I turn slightly around to look at Steve, turn back around. What the fuck are you talking about, Dustin?
And before Dustin can answer, you hear a boop. Can Becca Song and Steve Taylor please report to the principal's office? Again, Becca Song and Steve Taylor, please report to the principal's office. And that's where we're going to take a bio break.
Nice.
Hey!
Hey.
Gotta leave on a cliffhanger.
Been some juicy conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get into the juicy conflict, take a break, go to the bathroom, get a snack, get your popcorn, because it could get dramatique in here. And we'll be back in about 7 to 10 minutes. And we're back. And we're all wearing flannels, even Jenn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so over the loudspeaker comes an announcement. Steve Taylor and Becca Song, please report to the principal's office. Steve, you feel all eyes, including Becca's, on yours, or on you, as she stands up and immediately starts making her way to the door. Doesn't want the attention on her. Pulls her backpack up close to her shoulder and beelines it for the principal's office.
Slowly get up and get to the door so I could follow her there.
Yeah. She'll pretty adamantly keep her distance from you. Every so often she'll kind of look back and see how close you are getting. Do you try to keep up as at pace with her, or are you giving her your space or her space?
I think giving her space to not freak her out too much. She seemed pretty anxious, so giving her space though. I don't want when we do get there, I don't want her to be in the room for long You know, I want to
Yeah.
be like at the room at about the same time.
Okay. Yeah, so
Mhm.
then I would say easily enough you can, towards the closer you get to the principal's office, you can kind of catch up with her and be at pace with her. You both take a seat out front. There are some chairs lined up next to the like reception desk, essentially, and the admin kind of gestures to the chairs, and you sit down. And Becca just keeps her eyes straight ahead, doesn't say anything to you, and you both just kind of sit there.
Hey, is there anything I can do to make you feel better right now?
From your side view of her, you see her eyes start to glisten a little bit with tears. She blinks, and one kind of gently rolls down her face.
I begin to cry as well. Just like, you know, like keeping it together, just like tears.
Yeah, the slow stream.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah, just when your eyes get wet and you blink and tears fall. Yeah, she doesn't, still not making eye contact with you. She will reach for your hand. Oh, kitty. Sorry, I have to take a moment. Appreciate the cat. I wish that we could have cats in school. But she grabs your hand and kind of squeezes it. She says, "Steve, I'm just really scared."
I know. There's a lot to be scared about. I'm sorry. I one thing I know is you're safe right now. I mean, I know we're here, we got called to the principal's office, but you know, from all the other crazy things that have been happening, you're safe right now.
I wish I knew if Ronnie was safe.
I think we just have to believe she is. And then we do everything we can to make that the case.
She squeezes your hand a little harder, and the tears start coming a little more steadily. And she chokes out a little bit, and you kind of can't barely hear her at first, but she says, "I don't think I like high school very much."
Yeah. A lot of new things to know. Like, it's like you're expected to know everything already, and it's crazy. And I get that. But a high school experience is going to the principal's office, right? So
she laughs and wipes some of the tears from her eyes, and the door to the principal's office opens, and you see a woman step out, who you know is not the principal, but you see this woman step out of the principal's office and look to both of you, and she says, "Hi, Steve, Becca. I'm Detective Morales, and I'm working on your friend's case, and I just have a few questions for you, if you would be so kind as to help me follow up with some of the report from Monday night."
Yeah.
Becca, if you if you'd like to step in, Steve, we'll get to you next. And Becca looks at you, Steve, a little worried, and she turns to Detective Morales and says, Can't we both come in? Can Steve come in with me? And Detective Morales looks at you, Steve, and then at Becca and says, I'm afraid we'll need both your statements separately.
Mm-hmm.
And Becca will let go of your hand, Steve, and
I'll give it one last squeeze as she like lets go.
Okay. Yeah. That will kind of embolden her, I would say. And she takes a deep breath and wipes the rest of her tears away and follows Detective Morales into the room, leaving you sitting in the principal's office. And as you sit, you see the clear glass that goes from the principal's office into the hallway. You see students passing, you see teachers passing. Very normal occurrences. Everybody's very calm. You overhear conversations of the admin on the phone dealing with very normal things like supply orders, upcoming calendar schedules, if she's gonna be able to open the bathrooms up for the art fair so that people can use the facilities. And you're struck just by the dichotomy of what it is that you and your friends are going through versus the humdrum of what is perceived to be everyday life. And go ahead.
While I wait, there is so I'm in like a little admin office, and then the principal's office is like a door, like a side, like a closed door away.
Yeah.
And then there's like a door to the hall with like windows, and I could see people like walking by and stuff.
Yeah, I would say you would walk into this space through an opening where the like glass is leading into the hallway. So from the hallway to the thing, you would walk through. There would be a desk that greets you, and you walk kind of to the side of that desk and sit down because behind that desk is the door to the principal's office. So it's kind of like a counter that blocks the people from just like going straight into the principal's office, essentially.
Yeah.
It's like a waiting room almost.
With the and there's an administrator there.
Yeah, and she's not really paying any attention to you.
Could I go up to her?
Yeah.
And say, hi, I know I'm here because I was called to be here, but it might be a moment. I actually was gonna come here too. My mom wanted me to go to therapy and stuff for what's going on right now, and I just need to give them my like school like record of my just whatever's on file for me at school, so that they can know what's going on with me here, so they have like a baseline just to deal with all the stuff going on. So I was wondering if you could get me my school record.
Yeah. What's your name?
Steve Taylor.
Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen M. Taylor. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can't print the records and give them to you, but we can send them to your institution. Do you have a place where we need to send it?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird one, but it's just, and I give an email with like a bunch of letters and numbers.
Oh my. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the at?
At oh God. At hotmail.com. Yeah.
Oh, honey, you're seeing a shrink with a hotmail?
I mean,
Are they new? Are they old? What's the deal?
with a person with a hotmail, can you ever really know, right?
No. Oh my. That's the truest statement I've ever heard. Oh, and you weren't even around when AOL was the thing. Oh my god. AOL. Let me tell you about AOL. So it had a subcomponent chat feature called AIM, and we called it AIM, and you could put a little way message on there. So like if somebody tried to message you, oh, and she just goes in depth about like everything that technology was when it first started.
Would it be okay if I took a picture of my record with my phone? Is that cool? I know you can't print it out.
I don't know, because I mean, you are the student, but you are a minor.
Mm-hmm.
So we would really need to release the record to. Do you have a parent or a guardian that we can also email it to, and then they can?
I think that email that you sent it to will be okay.
Okay, sorry, sweetheart.
Mm-hmm.
And she like pulls out a bowl of candy and slams it down on the like marble of the desk, and she goes, I don't usually leave this out because I don't like people coming by to visit, but if you want one while you're waiting here.
They're all stuck together.
Yeah, the more the merrier. Just take whatever you get, you know?
Okay.
It's fresh, I promise. It just sat in my car for like 3 days, and it kind of all...
I guess I could break off yeah, I'll take that chunk there. And I put it in my pocket.
Careful, it'll reseal.
Okay.
And she takes the thing and slams it back down behind her desk and continues.
And what was your name again?
Oh, I'm Miss Schwartz.
Miss Schwartz.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Miss Schwartz.
You are welcome, sweetheart, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry about your little friend. I overheard.
Thank you. And I'll sit back down.
About maybe 10 or 15 minutes go by, but you know, it feels like forever. The bell for homeroom goes off, and you see students flooding the hallways, kind of looking and peeking in to see if they can see, but try not to be obvious about it as they pass, because they heard your name on the loudspeaker. At this point, you see kids coming through with like their headphones in and listening and showing each other. You see a glimpse of a podcast episode of Out of the Shadows, and you can only assume that they're listening to the podcast. Teachers are going nuts in the hallways trying to confiscate all the headphones and phones that are out in the halls. And it settles down in the time that you're still sitting there waiting, and you wait a little bit more, and finally you hear the door unlatch, and Becca comes out looking way more positive than she did when she went in. The tears from her eyes are gone. She's almost smiling as she leaves the room and says, okay, yeah, thank you, detective. If you anything else I can help with, I'd love to be of any assistance. And she kind of looks to you, Steve, and she goes, I gotta get to first period, but I'll see you at lunch.
Yeah, I'll see you then.
Okay, good luck. And she scurries away down the hall and out of sight. Well, Steve, if you wouldn't mind coming in.
Yeah.
Take a step in. And you go in, you see it's standard office. The principal seems to have gotten out and let them use the space for the purposes of the detective talking to you. But you see a large wooden desk, classic old school style with like the glazed mahogany look and the brass gold accents everywhere. Behind is a big bookshelf with placards, very decorative, probably not at all utilized. They're just old books that don't look like they are of any value whatsoever to a high school principal, but the vibe is that of somewhat of a cute dark academia setting, and you sit down in the chair that is right outside of the desk, like in front of the desk, and Detective Morales makes her way behind the desk and takes a seat and like props her elbows and says, "Steve Taylor, I'm Detective Morales," as I introduced myself out there, and if you're okay with it, I'd just like to ask you a few questions regarding Miss Marks's disappearance.
Yeah, of course. Anything I can do to help.
Awesome. Do you mind if I record the conversation just so that I can be present with you and go back later?
You could always listen to the podcast.
The podcast.
There's a podcast made about this. I talked about my experience on that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Okay. What is the name of this podcast?
Was it Into the or From the Shadows?
It's whatever you say it is, whatever
Oh,
Steve
okay.
thinks it is.
Yeah. From the Deep Shadows or something.
And she takes out her notebook and jots down "From the Deep Shadow." Okay, I'll take a listen. I'm not sure if the questions will overlap, but if they do, it's good for me to have this information. And I just want to start by asking you, what was your relationship with Ronnie?
We were friends.
Gotcha. And how long have you been friends?
A while, and so her leaving is really, or not leaving, but her missing is really hard. Yeah, it's tough to. It's really hard to be on the side of things where you just want to talk to someone and they're not there.
Yeah, I imagine that could be really difficult. So you and Miss Marks have been friends for a while, you say. Do you know of any enemies that she might have, or anyone that might want to do her harm? Miss Song said that her father was a prominent investigator, is a prominent investigator of the paranormal, I believe, in the town. So I'm not sure maybe if there could be some link to anyone who would want to cause him harm as well. So anything you might know about that would be helpful.
An investigator of the paranormal. I mean, I can see how that would set someone up to, maybe piss people off, but I don't recall Ronnie ever saying to me anything about an enemy.
Okay. What can you tell me about Miss Marks's relationship with another one of your classmates, Onyx Smith?
Well, short from what I know. I've only known Onyx for a little bit. But we were all hanging out. We were all, got to know each other that first day of school. So I imagine generally positive. Onyx has this sort of, I think she wants to see something more than is something more going on than is, and I don't know. I think it's a thing that a person might want to do in a scary situation like this, like find reasons for it. But I don't know. I'm kind of afraid. And there were wolves, you know. There were wolves out there in the forest. You've heard about them.
Yeah, I did receive the emergency text.
I'm just having a hard time seeing or imagining after this amount of time that Ronnie is safe at all.
Interesting. Okay. I did notice that you used the term leaving when referring to Miss Marks. Is it possible that she, or that you would know of anywhere that she might have run off to be safe or feel safe after your night in the woods? Perhaps she might have gotten scared and went there. Is there any place you could imagine that she would escape to?
Becca and I and Ronnie have been friends for some time, but they would be Ronnie would tell Becca where a place like that would be. And I've never known Ronnie to be the person who doesn't come back. You know, that's concerning. Mm-hmm. Even if you need some time. But if maybe she needed to, I don't know of a place, but she was very well equipped. She's a very smart person. She's very good at navigating the world, you know?
And have you had any communications with Miss Marks since her disappearance?
No.
Do you know of anyone who has?
No.
Okay. And she reaches over and turns off the recording. And she kind of looks at you for what feels like a minute or two.
Can I go, or do you have another?
Are you familiar with anybody by the name of Wes Jacobs?
Am I?
I'm gonna make up my own roll. No, I'm not. Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Can you roll to gaze into the abyss for me?
Yes, I can. Oh, yeah. Gazing into the abyss is helpful, huh? Learn some knowledge you don't know? Ooh.
It's the closest thing to a, like, history or insight or...
Yeah. Let's look at gaze into the abyss is dark, which I have one of, so that brings it all the way up to a 4.
Oh.
Big old 4.
Hell yeah. So mark an experience for yourself, and you hear the name Wes Jacobs, and nothing happens. You don't recall, nothing pops up, there's no familiarity in that name.
It's not ringing any bells.
What about the name Tessa Garber?
Should I do another roll?
I'm gonna have you do it again, yeah.
7.
Okay. Ooh, this is actually perfect. So on a 7, she says the name Tessa Garber, and for a brief moment, you feel a catch in your chest and you can't breathe, as if you've been running really hard for a very long time and you've just now stopped and you can't quite get the lung full of air that you need to rejuvenate your body, and water hits you in the face, a dampness, and you are standing in the forest and you are feeling rain falling on your face, on your eyelashes, in your hair. You have hair. When did you get hair? And Josie, you're sitting in first period, and you start to feel cold. More cold than you have in a bit. You were starting to feel that maybe you would warm up a little bit. And Steve, you can't catch your breath. You're panicking. And Josie, you feel a panic wash over you. And you try to take a deep breath. And your eyes roll in the back of your head, Josie, and you see what I just sent you.
Did you send it in Discord or?
No, I sent it on Roll20.
Okay. Hasn't come through yet.
What?
What?
Oh no, I hope I didn't show the wrong person.
Yep.
You see that.
Not again.
And Steve, your breathing starts to calm. And you come to with Detective Morales looking at you concerned. Are you okay?
Are they missing?
So we have reason to believe that they are the two teenagers who have been missing prior to Mrs. Mark's disappearance, and we're starting to think that there may be a common link. But I cannot discuss that any farther until more of the case has been solidified. Are you sure you're okay?
Yeah, I think I just need to go home or something, see my mom.
Okay. Well, here's my card. And if you think of anything related to Mrs. Mark's disappearance, please give me a call. And just a question. Off the record, your friend Onyx Smith, she doesn't live in the graveyard, does she?
I don't know if I would be a good friend to be telling people that she lives in a graveyard, right?
But she does live in a graveyard.
Who knows?
Fair enough. Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. Like I said, call me if anything pops up. And she'll get up, walk over, open the door, and gesture you out.
If you ever figure it out, let me know.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they go. Who's taking these people? What's going on?
We'll be telling the whole city. Don't you worry.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. And do you return to?
Yeah, wherever I should be.
Yeah, so you'll wander the halls for a second before you remember where your first period class is. It's been, a day or two since you've walked the schedule and you're only a freshman. So yeah, you make your way to first period. Does anybody have anything they'd like to accomplish between first period and lunch? Any conversations they'd like to have? Anybody they'd like to find in passing period? Any texts they would like to send?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Okay. I would say, having seen the Hollow again, I would want to roll to keep my cool to not run out of this school.
And it was, I didn't get to fully describe it to you, but similarly to how it was the first time you saw that image, it was just the briefest of flashes. It wasn't a lingering effect. It was you started to feel the anxiety attack coming on. It was a flash. It was gone. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's also, that. And then I also do want to reach out to Onyx, just to send a text. But before that, I need to react to this.
Yeah. Keep your cool.
Keep my cool. That's a 9.
A what?
A 9.
A 9. Okay. On a 7 or 9, MC will tell you how your actions would leave you vulnerable, and you can choose to back down or go through with it. Okay, so you are feeling these feels in this first period class. I would say that because you are physically having a panic attack in the middle of class, your teacher would come up to you embarrassingly in the middle of whatever is happening and kind of put a hand on your shoulder and say, Josie, are you okay?
Yeah, I got cold, and then I don't know, maybe I didn't get good sleep last night.
Okay. Do you need to go to the nurse? Would you like to?
No, I'm good. I can stay. Yeah, I can stay. Can we turn the temperature up maybe though?
Ooh, I don't have control over that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay. If you need to go to the bathroom and you start to see, I would say, how your actions would leave you vulnerable, I would say you're starting to get looks from other students in the class at this attention that you're being given. Haley and Christina are in your first period class, and they're kind of rolling their eyes, and you hear them kind of whispering to themselves. So I would say you can choose to back down or go through with it, being, do you go tend to yourself elsewhere, or do you stay?
I think I stay and try and deal.
Okay. Show us strength.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. They titter for a little bit. The teacher says, okay, we're moving on. And she continues with the lecture, probably about Jane Austen or some bullshit literature, STEM. And yeah, now you can reach out to Onyx.
I think I would when I have time and just kind of like lower myself into my chair and pull out my phone and like quickly try and text Onyx and send if you're serious about being okay with weird shit happening, come talk to me after school.
So you get that ping in your first period class, Onyx. You can respond to it if you want, or save it.
Yeah, I think I would heart the message, like respond immediately and be like, "You're cool. I'm in. Talk to you soon."
And that's it. That's all I would need to do.
Onyx, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I wanted to. Well, first of all, did I ever get a text back from Alaska?
Oh yeah.
That morning about needing to relocate.
She just thumbs up it.
Alaska, that'd be crazy. Okay, well, first things first, this conversation that I had with Dustin in homeroom, did I not have a chance to finish that? About how he doesn't think Steve is Steve?
We can say, yeah, we can go back and finish that. Yeah.
If we would have
had about maybe like 5 minutes after Steve and Becca left.
Yeah. Well, I think if they left, I would have been like, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm reading a lot right now about just like transformations and, mostly psychological transformations. My mom's a therapist, and she just gives me these crazy books, and like people can really, if they really try hard enough, start to believe anything that they tell themselves is truth, like personal narrative and stuff. But like, I'm thinking, what if, like, I saw what happened in the woods. What if Steve like changed himself? What if he's not Steve anymore? It's like a body snatcher situation or some shit.
Oh, like someone else is living inside of Steve's body?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because like, wasn't he gone? Didn't you say that he like left when you guys were exploring, and then suddenly he was at school?
Yeah, and you were one of the first people that saw him. Like, did he come from anywhere? Did he just like show up in the cafeteria? Or
yeah, he just was at lunch, and he said that you guys like finished what you needed to do and you came back to school, and he started talking about like the wolves and how he was pretty sure that it was the wolves that took Ronnie, and he doesn't think that she's gonna make it or like didn't make it, and he wants to just like start moving on.
Dustin, something about it is like so.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, like literally not, half an hour before when we were in the woods, he was like absolutely berating himself, thinking it was his fault, like that Ronnie was gone, like feeling terrible. And like, I haven't known Steve for very long at all, but like, I don't know, something about like the confidence. Did you see how he talked to me just now? Like,
yeah,
it's just like the guy who I met 2 days ago wasn't that. He just like wasn't. He was like scared of conflict. Like, no offense. Like, I think he rocked, but like, I just don't. It just doesn't seem like in 2 days someone like, I don't know, but then like trauma can like maybe change people. But I don't know.
But no, okay. Okay, you're gonna... Okay, please don't be annoyed that I'm saying this.
No, go for it.
What if we talk to Vernon about this being the next episode of his podcast? What if this is a new, like, information in this investigation? Like, I mean, the guy has tools. The guy's in, like, did you, like...
I started listening on the way to school.
I think we have to... I mean, we might as well try, right? If he's already investigating this and the police aren't going to do shit, then we should at least try.
Okay. I'm down to consider it. I don't want to make it look like Steve did something to Ronnie. And I don't want to like lay blame, and I don't want to distract from like the fact that Ronnie really does seem to be missing. But maybe there is some like strange complication here where like, I don't know, Steve is different.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't think he's the same Steve that I met on the first day of school, and I liked that Steve.
Yeah, it's cool as hell. Weirdo.
And you see Dustin kind of like blush a little bit. So we're in. We're gonna ask Vernon for help. I know. I can't believe I said it out loud. And he kind of like looks over his shoulder at where Vernon and Cora are sitting.
What do you think? Is there something that we can ask for Vernon in return for giving him this tip for his podcast? I want to make sure like we protect ourselves, because I'm not really sure what Vernon's angle is.
I mean, we can think about it.
You sure can?
I don't know. There's nothing that I want from him, honestly, except to use him.
Yeah, I guess we are kind of both doing each other a favor. Okay. Ugh, that's gonna fucking hurt my pride, but...
I know. Don't even fucking talk to me about it.
Ugh. Also, what is going on with Cora? She, like, can't keep her eyes off of him. I'm like,
I mean...
What have you done? Put some sort of spell on this girl?
Probably. Guys like that always are, like, getting what they want.
Yeah. I guess he is, like... Ugh, I don't want to think about it. Yeah, let's go. Let's ask him and see what he says.
Oh wait, right now?
Oh, I don't know. Do you think we shouldn't right now?
Oh God.
We do it after school or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it after school.
Okay.
I don't really feel like talking to him right now in front of everybody. I would like to wait until we like are on the way out or something.
Okay. We'll meet up after school then.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Meet me at my locker.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
In which case, I have plans to meet both Josie and Dustin, after school.
Uh-oh, making plans. So yeah, Dustin will sink back in his chair and kind of just think about the deal with the devil that he's about to make. And the bell will ring. You'll move on to your first period. Vernon, do you have anything between?
Yes, I was going to find Onyx in between classes.
Okay, so yeah, as the bell rings and Onyx and Dustin, who are at the front of the class, leave, go out in the hallway, you can catch up with Onyx.
Onyx.
Oh, Vernon. Hello.
I have a couple things to talk to you about. First,
Sorry I said fuck you at the beginning of homeroom.
that was going to be item number 1.
I did mean it, but I'm sorry that I did that way. I mean, like, I don't know. You didn't have our consent technically for some of the information you used, and I think that's kind of shitty, but also I think it's, I don't know, important information to get out, so fine.
Well, I accept your apology. Now, have you had a chance to listen to the full thing yet? The full podcast?
No, you released it like half an hour before school. I listened to part of it on the way.
Gotcha. Well, I think most people have gotten around to it by now. Have you seen all the people in the hallways with their AirPods on and listening to the thing? It's pretty popular.
What do you want from me, Vernon? A big fucking congratulations?
No. I don't need congratulations. But I just wanted to approach you about potentially you coming on the podcast to discuss your version of the events.
Vernon, I'm not interested in being on your podcast myself. I wasn't there when the incident happened because something separate happened to me, and I don't think that I am the voice that needs to be heard in this account. But I think that maybe there is some useful thoughts that I have and some information that you might not yet have thought to investigate. So maybe you can meet me and Dustin after school at his locker and we can talk about it.
Yeah. Excellent. That sounds great.
Cool.
And just throwing this out here, but I know you weren't there when the incident took place. You were doing something else, and I have heard some scuttlebutt around the school about your potential involvement, and I just wanted to tell you that as now the host of the podcast that's investigating, I will have to bring you up in some capacity, and I'm just offering you a chance to come to Cora's guest house and talk ahead of anything that I said. And of course, I would never say anything.
What are you implying, Vernon?
I don't know. I'm just saying that if I tell people what I know, that you weren't there, and then you came right when it came out, there might be suspicion. I'm not suspecting you, of course. I believe that you to be innocent, but just wanted you to get a chance to come out ahead of anything like that.
If you were to say that about me, you would have to throw the same kind of suspicion on yourself because you also weren't there for the events and showed up afterwards, except you don't have an alibi of being knocked out on the ground.
That's totally fair. That is totally fair, and that's why Cora is an impartial mediator of some sorts on the cast.
Impartial my ass. Your girlfriend's an impartial mediator? Yeah, right.
You know, just because Cora and I happen to be intimate doesn't mean that she lacks partiality.
No, literally that's like impartiality 101 is you're not intimate with your impartial mediator.
Fine. Onyx, how about this? There's no one that can hold me accountable better than you. How would you like to be my co-host?
That's so funny. Are you gonna kick Cora off the podcast?
Yes.
Oh no.
I need to think about it.
All right. No pressure, of course. I'll let you think about it.
Would I have equal say in what messages we're putting out to the public?
Of course, 50-50 split. But you would have to record it in our recording studio in the guest house.
What if we just stay using only your voice, though, for the podcast? I work behind the scenes.
Mm.
You can think about it.
Yes, I'll think about it.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, of course.
What are you going to tell Cora?
I'll just tell her that she's not on the podcast anymore.
Look.
I think she'll probably take it pretty well.
You're kind of heartless, dude.
Well, I admit that. Look, I look around, make sure no one's listening. I didn't really want my relationship with Cora to be so public, and I think that it was a mistake in the light of the release of this podcast. And just like you're saying, your suspicions about impartiality are they're hard to get around, and I just don't think it's best for our business decision for this podcast that we continue to date. So.
Oh, you're kicking her off the podcast and you're gonna break up with her? Fuck.
We'll still be friends.
Just to be clear, if I join your podcast, we are not dating.
Of course, definitely not.
Okay, just want to get that out there.
You're not my type. That's just a joke.
Okay.
Everyone is my type.
I'm gonna shift uncomfortably.
Whoa.
What'd you say, Angie?
I said, whoa.
Oh.
Because he said everyone is my type.
That's fine. I don't want to be your type, so it's cool.
Cool.
Great.
How's wrestling going?
Honestly, wrestling is the only normal part of my life so far. I'm still trying to prove myself in order to be on the team, but it's one thing that I know I'm good at, and I feel sure of my friendships. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I gotta go to class.
Well, I don't want to keep you from class. I just think it's inspiring that you're committed to wrestling and breaking boundaries, and I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, Vernon.
No problem.
Damn. Okay. Shit.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'll meet you and Dustin at your locker at the end of school.
Okay. All right. Got a lot to think about. I'll talk to you later.
All right. I just stand there.
I turn around and walk away. Well, shit.
Amazing. If no one has anything else they want to tend to between now and lunch, anything cool? You have Steve, you're muted.
Could I send 2 texts?
Yes.
One to Onyx, saying, saying, hey, I think the police know where you live. And then I would like to send a message to Sophie, saying, hey, my mom's making dinner tonight. I don't know if you want to come over and we can kind of talk and figure. What do I want to say? My mom's making dinner tonight. She said to invite someone. I was thinking you could come over and we could hang out for a bit.
I would look at the text and not know exactly how to respond, but I did say that I would talk to him later, and this feels like a good way to like ingratiate again back to this new friendship and like ask some more questions as well. So I would respond and say, yeah, I just need to ask my parents' permission first, and kind of use that to buy some time to like give a full response.
Onyx, do you have a response to? It's okay if not, but I want to give you a chance.
I think you would see like typing bubble for a while, and then eventually I would respond, wait, where do they think I live?
I'll just send one of the emojis of like a gravestone.
And let's see. I would respond, I think I still don't trust you very much, but I'm like accepting the show of like the display of like having my back a little bit, not selling out any information about me. And I'd be like, I'll just respond like, thanks for the info. Thanks for the info. I'll tell Alaska.
Cool. Bing.
If that is the case, then that is where we're going to end tonight's session on those little text cliffhangers. A lot of information to process from this session, a lot of action and reaction happening. The police are involved. Ronnie's still missing. Is Steve really Steve? And how many sponsorships can Out of the Shadows get for next week's episode? Who's to say? But that was very feral and I loved it. Thank you so much for joining us for the session 7 of Monsterhearts. We will be back in 2 Thursdays with session 8. And who knows where we'll pick up or start or who will be with us at that point. Cough, cough. But before then, let me pull up my calendar here because, we got mad streams coming at you. Next on the lineup, on Sunday at our new time. So Sundays will now be starting at 1 p.m. for the foreseeable future. We will have a Meet the Persons with JMO. So if you haven't seen a Meet the Persons segment, it is where I, Angie, ask a ton of very invasive and intrusive questions to our players on CharmedPersons, and JMO will be in the hot seat this week, bringing us to Tuesday, November 7th, in which season 6 of The Remains is starting. So The Remains, which is our homebrew system in the world of The Last of Us, is going to make a resurgence. It's been a while, but season 6 is on its way, and I'm sure if Zach were here, he would be okay with me giving you a little bit of a spoiler, but it takes place on a cruise ship that has been out to sea and is re-docking after 3 months of trying to avoid the initial infection. So see what those survivors get up to. Yeah, I'm very interested in this one. Very excited about this one. And then all the way to Thursday, we got 3 streams this week. Curse of Strahd will be back on Thursday for what session is this, Matt? Like session 6?
6, yes.
Yeah, so session 6. So we got some rolling Thursdays now for your scaries and your I guess fairies could be on Monsterhearts. There is a
Oh
fae.
yeah.
So keep an eye out for that. As always, check our social medias. We might have some subscriber only content coming up soon. So if you have not subscribed and you want to be involved in that, please just help out our little ragtag content creating crew. Do a little bit of extra stuff with that monetary donation. And you'll get some cool stuff if you do that. Thank you all for playing. Obviously, always with this game. And as always, as Zach would say, everybody say bye.
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 Bye.